Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the tiniest country in the world. And no, it's not a hidden island or a secret society, it's the Vatican. Now you might be wondering, how could something so small be so important? Well, stick around as we uncover the fascinating history, culture, fun facts, and the best places to visit, eat, and stay in the Vatican, the world's smallest country that packs a huge punch. Alright folks, let's talk real estate. The Vatican City, the world's smallest country, clocks in at a whopping, wait for it, 110 acres. You could walk across the whole thing during a commercial break, and that's if you're really taking your time. To put that into perspective, that's like, what, 5 Disneylands? Okay, maybe not, but you get the idea. It's tiny. But here's the kicker. This little slice of Rome packs a punch. We're talking about the center of the Catholic Church, home to the Pope, a spiritual leader for millions around the world. Speaking of the Pope, can we talk about Pope Francis for a second? This guy's got more swag than a rapper on a yacht. He's humble, he's down to earth, he's got a great sense of humor, and he loves his soccer. He's like the cool grandpa everyone wishes they had. Anyway, back to the Vatican. It's not just about religion though. We're talking art, history, culture. It's all crammed into this tiny space. You've got Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel ceiling, which is basically the Renaissance equivalent of a blockbuster movie. You've got St. Peter's Basilica, a masterpiece of architecture that'll make your jaw drop. And the Vatican museums, forget about it. You could spend a week in there and still not see everything. So, how does a place this small become so influential? Well, it's a long and winding story, kind of like my career in showbiz, but stick with me because it's a good one. Okay, so the Vatican hasn't always been its own country, imagine that. A time before the Pope had his own zip code. We're talking way back, centuries ago, when the Pope was basically just a really important religious figure living in Rome. But then, things got a little messy, empires rising and falling, wars, political intrigue. It was like a reality TV show in togas. Fast forward to the 19th century and Italy decides it's time to unify. Problem is, the Pope controlled a big chunk of what would become Italy, and he wasn't exactly thrilled about giving up his land. Awkward. This led to years of tension, kind of like when your in-laws come to visit for a month, not ideal. But finally in 1929, someone decided it was time to call a truce. Enter the Lateran Treaty, a peace agreement that basically said, hey Pope, how about we give you your own little country? We'll even throw in some cash and recognize your independence, and bam! The Vatican City was born. Now I know what you're thinking. Jimmy, how do you know all this stuff? Shouldn't you be writing jokes about Matt Damon? And to that I say, hey, I'm a man of many talents. Plus, learning about history is important, kids. Almost as important as watching my show. Almost. Okay, time for some fun facts about the Vatican, because who doesn't love a good trivia night? First up, population. The Vatican has around 825 permanent residents, which is basically the size of a small college dorm. Can you imagine living in a country where everyone knows your name? It'd be like Cheers, but with more Latin. Next up, let's talk about the Swiss Guard. No, they're not guarding Swiss cheese. These guys are the Pope's personal army, and they've been around since the 1500s. They're known for their colorful Renaissance-era uniforms, which, let's be honest, look like something out of a Disney movie. But don't let the outfits fool you. These guys are trained professionals. And speaking of things that are old, the Vatican has its own post office. And get this, it's considered one of the best in the world. People actually send postcards and letters from the Vatican just for the cool stamps. It's like the Willy Wonka of postal services. But here's the most mind-blowing fact of all. The Vatican has a higher crime rate than the United States. I know, right? Shocking. But before you start packing your bags and moving to Vatican City, keep in mind that most of these crimes are petty theft from tourists. Pickpockets, beware. The Swiss Guard is watching. Alright, let's talk tourism, because let's face it, that's why you're really watching this video. And trust me, the Vatican does not disappoint. First on the list, the big kahuna, St. Peter's Basilica. This place is massive, awe-inspiring, and absolutely breathtaking. We're talking soaring ceilings, intricate mosaics, and enough religious artifacts to make your head spin. It's like walking into a history book, but way more impressive. Next up, the Sistine Chapel. I know, you've seen it in pictures a million times, but trust me, nothing compares to seeing it in person. Michelangelo's masterpiece is truly awe-inspiring, and you'll probably find yourself craning your neck so long you'll need a chiropractor afterward. It's worth it. Now if you're an art lover, the Vatican museums are a must-see. We're talking miles of galleries, sculptures, paintings, tapestries, you name it, they've got it. It's like a crash course in art history, but way more fun than your college lectures. And finally, after all that art and culture, you're going to need a break. That's where the Vatican Gardens come in. This peaceful oasis in the middle of the city is the perfect place to relax, recharge, and pretend you're a Renaissance prince or princess taking a leisurely stroll. Just try not to get lost in the hedge maze. Alright, let's talk food because no trip to Italy is complete without indulging in some delicious cuisine. Now, the Vatican itself is a little light on the dining options, unless you're a fan of cafeteria food. But fear not, my friends, because just outside the Vatican walls lies a culinary paradise just waiting to be explored. First up, we're heading to Ristorante dei Cavalieri, a charming little trattoria that's been serving up traditional Roman dishes for decades. We're talking homemade pasta, fresh seafood, and melt-in-your-mouth tiramisu. It's the kind of place where you can linger over a bottle of wine and pretend you're in a Fellini film. Next up, we're satisfying our sweet tooth at Gelateria dei Gracchi, because no trip to Italy is complete without a scoop or three of gelato. This place is known for its creamy, flavorful gelato made with fresh local ingredients. I'm talking pistachio, hazelnut, chocolate, stracciatella. The flavors are endless. It's the perfect way to cool down after a long day of exploring the Vatican. But the culinary adventures don't stop there. Rome is a foodie's paradise, and you'll find everything from Michelin-starred restaurants to hole-in-the-wall pizzerias just a stone's throw from the Vatican. So go ahead, indulge your inner gourmand. Just try to save room for dessert. Alright, after a long day of exploring the Vatican, you're going to need a comfortable place to rest your weary head. And let me tell you, there's no shortage of hotels near the Vatican, from budget-friendly options to luxurious 5-star accommodations. First up, we're checking into Hotel Alimandi Vaticano, a charming boutique hotel that's just a short walk from St. Peter's Square. This place has got it all: comfortable rooms, a rooftop terrace with stunning views of the city, and a friendly staff that'll make you feel right at home. Plus, it's surprisingly affordable, which means you'll have more money to spend on gelato. Now, if you're looking to splurge, look no further than Star Hotel's Michelangelo Rome. This luxurious hotel is located just steps from the Vatican museums and boasts elegant rooms, a rooftop pool, and a Michelin-starred restaurant. It's the kind of place where you can sip cocktails by the pool and pretend you're a Hollywood celebrity. But no matter your budget, you're sure to find the perfect hotel near the Vatican. Just make sure you book in advance, especially if you're traveling during peak season. Trust me, you don't want to be stuck sleeping on a park bench after a long day of exploring the Vatican. So the Vatican may be small, but it's mighty. From its historical significance to the art, culture, quirky facts, delicious food, and the best spots to stay, it definitely packs a punch. Whether you're visiting to see the Sistine Chapel or grab some of the best gelato in Rome, the Vatican has something for everyone. If you learned something new today or found the Vatican fascinating, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more fun, fact-filled journeys. Let me know in the comments what part of the Vatican surprised you the most. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.